can't wait for my husband to actually be able to feel it and just see the little poke or stuff like this. But yeah, feeling the baby move is the best thing ever. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Charlene. So for today's video, I wanted to do a little kind of pregnancy update. It's not really an update because I never actually talked about it in just like one video about it. But I just wanted to let you know guys how I've been feeling my first and second trimester. I'm in the middle of my second trimester. I'll be 23 weeks tomorrow. So I'm getting close to the end of the second trimester, and I just wanted to let you know how I've been feeling, what has been going on. I know when I was in the beginning of my pregnancy, I loved watching those kind of videos. So hopefully my video can help some of you guys if you are just at the beginning of a pregnancy and you're trying to figure out what are all these symptoms. Is it normal? Is it not? And then what awaits you later on in your pregnancy. I'm not a pro, definitely. This is my first pregnancy, but I definitely just wanted to have a little chat with you guys and let you know what has been going on. If you hear some noise, I am so sorry. My dog is eating a stuffed bone kind of thing because I can keep him calm that way, and he's pretty loud. So if you hear weird noises, it's just my dog having fun over there. I'm going to start with like the beginning of my pregnancy. So I found out I was pregnant I think mid-July, something like this. We were trying without really trying. We knew what we were doing, but at the same time, I personally never thought it was going to work on the first try. I'm so grateful it did, but I really never thought it was going to work on the first try. So I know you have to wait about 2 weeks usually to find out that you're pregnant or not, because for those of you who are not pregnant and are wondering things, basically from the day you try, you have to wait about 2 weeks for a test for like the hormones to be high enough to show up on a pregnancy test. So I kind of felt that I was pregnant. This video is going to be a little TMI at some point, but because I had some cramping, and I could feel that, I don't know, something was different. But at the same time, I was like, oh, it's just a first try. I'm pretty sure it's not really going to work. It's just, you know, like we tried, so I wanted to work. So in my head, it's going, I'm just finding excuses for it not to work because, I don't know, I felt like it never works on the first try. So I was kind of making up my mind to, oh, these signs is just, I'm going to get my period. But my husband was like, you're being annoying. You're being annoying. You're definitely pregnant. Because I was really emotional. I'm still emotional. Like, it's getting worse, but it wasn't that bad, but it was different from how I was before. So my husband could definitely tell that I was getting, you know, a little emotional. I was getting like, you know, little things were getting me, like, I was being annoyed and frustrated for little things that I would have just not cared before. So he was like, oh, I'm pretty sure you're pregnant. So I took a test that came out kind of positive, but it was really faint. So I wasn't really sure. I took another test about the day after. I took 2 other tests and there was nothing on it. So I was like, oh, it was just probably a defective pregnancy test. It's just nothing. It didn't work. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wait a little longer because it was literally just 7 days. I'm like, you have to wait longer. So I waited about 3-4 days later, and then I was like, you know what? It was late afternoon. I was like, I gotta go pee. I'm just gonna try. And this one came out really positive. Like, you could definitely see the line. And then I took 2 other tests later on that says pregnant or not. And one said pregnant for sure, and the other one with the line came out like a day or 2 later, super bright. So I was like, okay, this is for sure. I am pregnant. So as for the symptoms, besides just being emotional, I haven't felt in the beginning, I really didn't feel the sore breast like a lot of ladies say. Like, I really did not have sore breast at all. That I was like, is it normal? I had more like cramping and stuff like this than actual like breast pain. I did not even get that much nausea. I know I'm part of the lucky ones that I didn't really get nausea. Or like morning sickness. I know by like between 6 and 8 weeks pregnant, I know that I definitely did not feel that well, but it was not horrible. Like, I threw up a few times, but I was not stuck in bed at all. I got stuck in bed. Oh, I can speak. Sorry. I got stuck in bed maybe one day, but it wasn't even that bad. I would just eat crackers. Like, for the 2 weeks that I kind of had morning sickness, it was pretty much of an all day thing, and it was more of a, yeah, of like a little nausea, queasiness feeling. But I could go to the store, I could get in the car, I could do like everything I would normally do. I just didn't feel really, really great, if that makes sense. So yeah, I had my morning sickness for about 2 weeks on and off, and then by 8 weeks it kind of slowed down. I will have maybe like a little brief 2 times during a week or something like this, and then that was pretty much it. I'm really lucky because I'm the kind of person, for example, that when I feel nauseous, I'd rather go make myself throw up than just live with the feeling. I just hate that feeling. I'm not afraid to throw up and stuff like this, but I'm lucky because I would have gone into the bathroom and throw up like every 5 minutes. So I'm grateful. I don't know if it's because it's a boy. I've heard that sometimes it's true and not true at the same time, I guess. But I've heard that if you're having a boy, you're less likely to get morning sickness, because when you have a girl, you have the girl's hormones. So that kind of add hormones to your already changing hormones. We can trigger even more nausea. For me, I'm having a boy and I haven't had morning sickness. So for me, it was kind of true, but I can't tell you if it's true or not. But this is how I felt. And besides that, the first trimester was just pretty much fine. It was just getting used to, this weird feelings in my body. But I wasn't sore. The only thing was just I was being annoying. And I had really bad mood swings. And I really had I didn't have weird cravings, but when I was craving something, like I wanted it right now, that's pretty much it. I'm so grateful because I don't have a lot to say about my first trimester. The second one, on the other hand, there's a lot of things to add. But for the first one, I was pretty lucky. I did, like I said, barely any morning sickness. And one of the main thing is that I did not have a belly yet, and the kind of person that sleep on my tummy, and I could still sleep on my tummy. So I was fine. I could sleep fine, no backaches, no nothing. I was pretty good for the first I just had some cramping that they call implantation cramping, and then that's it. I had a few issues that I had to go to the ER for, but I don't really want to talk about it because it's nothing in the end. It's absolutely nothing. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, the first trimester wasn't bad at all for me. It was actually kind of the best one because I didn't have a belly yet, and I barely had any symptoms. I just realized that my bun was so sideways. I did not do my hair today. This is also one part of pregnancy, is that my hair is just so bad. My skin is so bad. Yeah, I don't really know. They say when you're pregnant, you're supposed to have a glow, and I think it's just people see you with the belly and they're blown away by the belly and they're like, everything looks cute, but it's not all cute. So as for the second trimester, it's been a little more rough because first of all, my belly started growing, so it just gets tough because I barely fit in all my underwear. It's really uncomfortable. I have old underwear where the stretch part is not stretchy anymore. The waistband of your underwear, I don't know if it makes sense. I can wear those because it doesn't hold anymore, so that's perfect. But I know that I'm super tight and everything. I don't even have that big of a belly. It's just I don't know, a normal belly, but at the same time, you just have to figure out the weight gain, which makes your legs so much heavier, and at the same time, you actually have the baby weight, which is not even that much, but you can feel that it's weighing you down. And now it's getting really hard for me to sleep because, like I said before, I usually sleep on my tummy, and now I've been loving sleeping on my left side. It's actually super comfortable, but it just gets so hard. And I just feel like, for example, it's mostly at night when I go to bed, because I lay down and I sleep, but the fact that I'm laying down, I don't know, because my body is kind of resting, I feel like when I have to wake up and get out of bed, it's so hard. It feels like, I don't know how to explain. You know when you have like an old door that makes this sound, and you have to put oil or grease it to make it like go smoothly? I feel like it's exactly like this for me, is that when I wake up, I literally feel like the door that's gonna make sound, and I need to just walk a little bit around the house to, you know, kind of warm up my body and make my body comfortable again, or like somewhat comfortable. In the morning is just when I have to get out of bed. It's so uncomfortable. We actually had to change bed because the bed we had was an old IKEA bed that was pretty much broken, horrible. So we changed bed, and I was like, you know what, that's actually perfect, because I was getting belly and all of this. I'm like, that's perfect, because now we have a comfortable bed. But even with that super comfy mattress that you feel like you're in a hotel, it's just, it doesn't help that much. It helps because I'm comfortable for a minute or two, but then just laying down, I'm just, yeah, sleeping is really bad. Once I fall asleep, that's fine, but if I have to, you know, wake up to go to the bathroom or anything, it's just a pain to lay down again comfortably. I do not own a pregnancy pillow. Maybe I should, but at the same time, I feel like I'll be further away from my husband in the bed, which I don't really want that. So for now, I just use 2 pillows that when I go to bed, I put them under my feet to have my feet up so my legs are not hurting as much. And then during the night, I move them up a little bit depending on which position I'm going to lay in. But to be honest, there's not any position to lay in when you're pregnant that you're absolutely comfortable. So for the rest of like all the symptoms in the second trimester, to be honest, I don't want to make you feel like I'm complaining all the way, because I'm not. I'm so grateful to be pregnant and to get and to be having a baby, and like this is the most wonderful thing in the world. But I'm gonna be honest, maybe that's mean, but I didn't think it was going to be that hard to be pregnant. Maybe I was just, you know, like all the people focus on the belly. Oh, you have a belly, that's cute. But it's harder than I thought. It's not bad at all, not at all. It's just, you just have to get used to those changing things. That's it. And I feel like 9 months is kind of short in a way to get used to all these changes that are going through your body, and especially that these changes are actually these changes in your body are changing pretty fast. So I feel like for me, it's just hard to get used to all of this. And like for example, I miss wearing my jeans, and I tend to be a person that I can be negative, and I tend to think of how my life was before, and then I kind of regret that time when I'm like, oh, I could wear my jeans and stuff like this. But at the same time, like, I'm having a baby, like, you should shut up and embrace it. So I'm not complaining at all. I'm just telling you guys how I feel. Pregnancy is not all happy and baby things everywhere. There's some days you're feeling it, there's some days you don't. I've been trying to work on that, because I know it's annoying for my husband as well, and sometimes like I get frustrated for some little things, but at the same time I can't control it. So it's kind of like working as a team at the same time. I'm thankful I have my husband that is super supportive and is here for me, and like he knows when I'm about to cry, and he knows when I get frustrated, and he usually comes to me and he helps me calm down, which has been like a super big help. I don't mind being pregnant, actually. It's not something that I hate. It's just something that is completely different and new, and sometimes it just can be hard to deal with when it's something new and that is about to change your life. There's so much going on in like a pregnant woman's head, I think. So this is how I've been feeling. But yeah, besides that, it's not horrible at all. I can feel my baby moves, so it's something that I've been trying to feel. I mean, since I was 13 weeks pregnant. I remember being 13 weeks pregnant, laying down on my couch or on my bed with my hand on my belly, trying to see if I could feel the baby move, because I didn't know it was a boy by then. But I did not feel the baby move until about 18 weeks. My husband is in the army, like you guys know, so he was away for a few days. It was in the field for a few days, And I remember laying on the couch and I felt like a bubble-ish, if I can say it like this. It was not gas, it was more like a bubble. Like I could definitely tell the difference. I was a little confused at first, but I was like, that can't be gas. Like I can definitely tell if it's gas or not. And then this feeling kept going and going, and now I can pretty much feel him. I can feel him every time he moves, I guess. He's still little because I'll be 23 weeks tomorrow, so he's still little, but he still has a decent size that every single move I can feel. And this is something that I absolutely love. When I start thinking about it, I'm kind of weird out, because I'm like, you have a growing human inside of your belly, which if you start thinking about it, that's like, oh my goodness, like it blows my mind. But at the same time, it's so freaking amazing and beautiful that I'm like, I love feeling him. But at the same time, I can't wait to be in March to give birth and meet him. But yeah, feeling my baby move is definitely one of the best like feeling of this pregnancy. It's just so cute. I can't wait for my belly to actually move more, because when he moves, I can feel and I can see my belly move. But for my husband or someone outside, it's kind of hard to see the little movements, because for me it's way stronger inside than it actually shows outside on my belly. But I really can't wait for my husband to actually be able to feel it and just see the little poke or stuff like this. But yeah, feeling the baby move is the best thing ever. So that's pretty much how I've been feeling for my first and second trimester. I'm still not over with the second trimester, but I'm getting near the end. But as for all of the, for example, the appointments and all this, I had my first appointment when I was 10 weeks. Then I had another one when I was, I think 16. And then the next one is December 4th. So it's in about a week and a half. I did my anatomy scan on I don't remember. I think it was early November, and it was when I was 19 weeks. For those of you who don't know, this is the one of the major ultrasound they do. You have one now, there's another one later to see how baby is going, but in this one they literally look at every single thing in your in your baby. I didn't know they could see that much, to be honest. They checked the heart, that he had like 4 chambers. They could even tell with like some, I don't even know how, but which way the blood flow was going in which chamber, which I'm like, this is incredible. So they were able to see that. They counted all the fingers, toes. They looked at the skull, they looked at the head, the brain, everything. So everything turned out perfect. This is a really stressful ultrasound. We had like a really nice lady that was telling us everything she was looking at. She's like, oh, these are the chambers, this is your baby's foot. Like, she was really sweet. But she wasn't telling us if it's great, like if there's something wrong or not, but she was like really sweet in telling us what she was looking at, because I know sometimes they don't tell you and you're just like, what even is this part of my baby? Sometimes I was like, I don't even see anything. It's just a big thing there. But she was like really sweet, so she made it easier. It wasn't as stressful. The doctor said it was perfect, so that was a big relief. Also, when you get pregnant at about 10 weeks, they ask if you want to do a genetic test, which we did, and usually they tell you if your baby has a chromosomal abnormality. I think it's how you say it. They can tell you that, and they also can tell you if there are other issues. I know they told me that I was a carrier for cystic fibrosis, which completely freaked me out, because my husband had to do some testing that he wasn't supposed to do at first. So he did all the testing. It took forever to get the results. We weren't able to read it anyway. So when we went to the anatomy scan, they had access to my husband's file with his whatever number in the army and he was the doctor was able to tell us that my husband he's not a carrier for cystic fibrosis, so that's a big relief. So I'm only the carrier, so I'm not sick, so that's good. And my baby, the only issue that can happen is he's going to be a carrier like me, so he's never going to be sick. He's just a carrier. He has the gene inside of him, but we don't know yet if he has it or not. But that's the worst that can happen, is that he can be like me, just have the gene but not actually be sick. So to be honest, it's not even a big deal, because if I'm a carrier for cystic fibrosis, that means either my mom or my dad were a carrier. That means out of my grandparents, someone was a carrier. And my mom didn't even know that either her or my dad are a carrier for cystic fibrosis, because back in France, they don't do this testing. They do a test later on. For example, I guess when your baby's born, if he has issues with like breathing, coughing and stuff like this, maybe they'll do some tests, but they don't do this. So my mom was like, I didn't even know. Maybe she was like, maybe I'm the carrier, and I gave it to you, and she was like, I didn't even know. So it's not a big deal. But if my husband was a carrier, that would have been harder, because you have 1 chance out of 4 that your baby has cystic fibrosis, 2 chances out of 4 that he's just a carrier, and 1 chance out of 4 that he doesn't have anything. So I was like, 1 chance out of 4 to actually have cystic fibrosis, that would have been like horrible. Like, that would have been really, really bad. So I'm grateful that now my baby's good. I can feel him move. Also, one thing is that in the beginning of the pregnancy, like the stressful time of thinking that maybe you're gonna get a miscarriage is real. Like, I was stressed. So I'm still stressed, even if now I can feel him, but I feel like in the beginning of a pregnancy is way harder to deal with, because you don't feel anything. You don't know if your baby's wrong. If you have a tiny bit of spotting, you're like, oh my goodness, am I having a miscarriage? If you have a little bit of cramping, you're like, oh my gosh, am I losing my baby? So that's a lot to take in. But now I'm so grateful, because the anatomy scan went perfectly. There's no worries for cystic fibrosis anymore, and I can feel the baby move, so I can tell that he's well, you know. So that's really helpful now that he's moving, so you can tell that everything is right. And if you feel like he's moving a little less or too much, then you can, you know, go to the doctor and be like, I feel something is wrong. But when you don't feel the baby move or anything, it's really hard to actually figure out if something is wrong or not. So I think that's actually it for this video. I'm so sorry it was a little all over the place, but I really wanted to share with you guys how I felt, because like I said, I loved watching those kind of videos before. I still love watching videos updates. Like, for example, when I'll be 23 weeks tomorrow, or like probably this afternoon, I'll look up on YouTube like 23 week pregnancy. So I don't know, I'll just look at other girls belly, how their belly's growing, how their baby's growing, and all the symptoms they have. So I know I love doing this. So I just wanted to share and let you know all my symptoms, how pregnancy is going, and yeah, that's it. If you're new on my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a like, leave a comment if you have any question, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.